There's a lot of talk regarding new characters in Dragon Ball FighterZ, and 3 new characters. Three of them. 3 new characters were just officially revealed by Weekly Jump magazine. But there are also a lot of old rumors as well that could have been completely debunked or confirmed by these recent reveals. My name is Globku, and today we're talking about the latest announcements for Dragon Ball FighterZ. So before jumping into the new characters, the Weekly Jump magazine scan that shonengames.com has grabbed revealed a shop where you'll be able to buy different colors outfits for your characters, as well as special titles to use online. Now, this shop seems to be used with in-game currency only, the Zenny. However, the scan shows 2 types of currency on the top. You got the Zenny, and then you got something else on the bottom. Now, the resolution is a bit low to really make anything out of it, so it might be too soon to yell, "Microtransactions are coming! The end of days is nigh!" The image is not really a clear giveaway, but even if that's the case, if what they're selling is just different colors for your characters and titles, that's okay in my book. But let's keep an eye out for that stuff. Next to the shop, we also have the announcement of an arcade mode where you fight a series of AI opponents, which is really nothing out of the ordinary for a fighting game. Maybe you get a little reward when you beat it, maybe even a little cutscene for the characters you played with. I don't know, but you usually unlock something in these modes. Now, none of these announcements were especially surprising, and neither are the characters announced in this scan. But for some reason, they still make me excited. That's how good this game is looking. All the character announcements are incredibly obvious, and I'm still drooling over every single announcement. I mean, I predicted all these 3 characters 5 months ago. That's how obvious they were. But let's start with Gotenks. It wasn't super obvious that he was gonna be a Super Saiyan 3 all the time, since most of the time in Dragon Ball Z we actually saw him as a regular Super Saiyan, and just like Frieza, he could have a transformation, but no, he's actually gonna be Super Saiyan 3 from the start. He's gonna be Super Saiyan 3 all the time, and he looks amazing. He really does look amazing. And as far as attacks go, you guys know I don't really like analyzing attacks based on scans alone, but you know, just so you know what he does have, he's got the Super Ghost Kamikaze attack. Not sure if this is a special or super move, but we'll wait for gameplay to talk more about it. And his level 3 is the volleyball attack, where he plays volleyball with one of his teammates. In the screen we see him playing with Piccolo, but the text does say that he'll play with other teammates. So this does seem to be a similar situation to Android 18's level 3 super, where she'll do the super with Android 17 or with Krillin, depending on whether or not Krillin is in the party and still alive. Moving on to Kid Buu, his level 3 is the Planet Burst. He's also got stretchy limbs like Majin Buu or Piccolo, but I'm sure they'll have different uses just because I don't think Arc Systems would pass up on this opportunity to make something different. He can also curl up into a ball and attack the opponent, and his stats are just insane. I've never talked too much about stats in the past because it all seemed pretty balanced so far, but my god, he's got 4s almost across the board on speed, power, energy, and tech, and he's got a 3 on reach, which makes sense since he's a smaller character, but I wonder how much of that goes away with his stretchy limbs. And finally, we have Adult Gohan, whose level 3 is yet another Kamehameha. Hopefully it's mechanically different, because seriously, there are way too many Kamehamehas in this game. Now, it seems to be more interesting or unique about Gohan is a new mechanic that I don't want to speculate too much on, but there seems to be something going on with his ki, where the more ki he has, the stronger he gets, or at least that's how Shonen Games translated it. Which would mean this would encourage you to use Gohan when you have a lot of meter, and it would also encourage you not to spend any of that meter, which would definitely be something different, something new for this game. However, Gematsu translated this differently. They said, use all of the ki gauge to unlock your potential. Depending on the amount of ki gauge consumed, the magnification of Gohan's abilities increase will change. Which makes it sound more akin to Frieza's transformation, but instead of you just spending 3 bars of meter to transform, the player can actually control how much meter they spend, and the more they spend, the more powerful Gohan becomes. And even though I'm not a Japanese expert, I'm more inclined to agree with Gematsu's translation. But again, that's why I don't like making videos on scans, because this will all become obvious in due time when gameplay comes out. But let's talk about what I'm here to talk about today, the final roster. It's almost complete. With these 3 characters, I've said time and time again, the final roster is gonna have 24 characters at launch. That's how many characters fit into the character selection screen, that's how many characters fit into their website. It's a multiple of 3, so it makes sense on a 3v3 game. It's more or less the number of characters they had in previous games. There's a lot of different factors pointing to the number 24, and with these 3 characters, we have 20, and that's not counting Android 21, since she was never confirmed playable, though I do think she's gonna be playable, and that's mainly because an interview that Hiroki Tomoko had with Game Informer
ドラゴンボールって男性キャラがすごく多いので、女性キャラも登場するとちょっと花があるんじゃないかなっていうようなぐらいで、女性っていうのを選びました。
So with that in mind, if Android 21 is not playable, that kind of defeats their own purpose. So let's assume for now that she is playable. That leaves us with 3 character slots. Now, over the past few months, there have been a few supposed leaks, and I never cover those guys because their credibility is questionable at best. But since these leaks happened long ago, some were recent, some not so much, it becomes somewhat easier to verify their credibility. So let's start with the most recent leak. This comes from a guy that leaked that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were coming to Injustice 2. And that was something that no one saw coming. That's not just something that you guess. At the same time, the leak just happened a few days before the official reveal. So after that person leaked this information, he posted this on Reddit, which seems like a big leap because this is a bunch of info for many fighting games. So it kind of went from a character reveal a few days before the official one to the future plans for all fighting games in the universe. Seems kind of a big jump, but take this information as you will. So what does he say? He talks about DLC characters, Broly, Base Goku, and Base Vegeta. And Base Goku would apparently have the Spirit Bomb, and I hope this isn't true because I'm done with duplicate characters. But Broly being DLC kind of makes sense since he's a non-canon movie character, but still pretty popular. But since these are DLC characters, none of them would fit those 3 last slots. Those 3 last slots are for the launch lineup, not for DLC. He does mention another 3 characters, but he's not sure whether or not they'll be available at launch or DLC. He's just not sure where they fit. Those 3 characters are Bardock, Raditz, and Goku Black in his Super Saiyan Rose form. Now, personally, I don't think Arc Systems is going in the Dragon Ball Super direction, and if they were, I feel there are other characters they would tackle first. Beerus for his popularity, Hit for his unique fighting style, maybe even the Saiyan girls would take priority over Goku Black, but at that point I may be a bit biased because I don't like Goku Black. But hey, that's the information we have. That's the leak. Take it with a grain of salt. Believe it if you want to or not. We also had another leak further back from a private press reporter. I don't even know what that means. Right off the bat, it's making me question this leak. And since this is an older leak, it's easier to verify some of its information. First character he mentions is Ultimate Gohan, which now has been confirmed. And he says that his assist attack increases the super meter of your active character, which that is interesting, but at this point we can't really confirm or deny. Next, he talks about Tien, who uses multiform to create multiple copies of himself. Nope, I don't think he uses multiform at all in this game, so this leak might be bull. Yamcha uses the Wolf Fang Fist. That happened, so you got one right. And then he talks about Kale, Caulifla, and Videl, and you completely lost me. Especially when later it says that the game aims to have more than 34 characters on release. Nope. Not happening. Don't get your hopes up. So personally, I am completely disregarding this leak. It seems completely made up, but if you think he has some credibility, then the last slots are for Kale, Caulifla, and Videl. But also, those are not the last slots because there are 10 more characters coming. Come on, guys. And our final leak comes from an art book that showed up on Twitter. It was a picture, but it was quickly deleted, so we can't really check the source. Like, a bunch of people have retweeted it and posted the image somewhere else, but we can no longer track it to the source, so we can't really verify if it's official information. But it does show art for Bardock and the androids, and the androids have soon after been confirmed, but still no word from Bardock. And I'll be honest, this one looks pretty legit. So along with our first leak that also mentioned Bardock, this one also reinforces the idea that Bardock is coming into the game. Whether it's on the launch lineup or DLC, we still don't know, but if it's in the art book, I would say launch. But hey, this is just the information that I've gathered. I'd love to know what you guys think. Who do you think the final 3 characters in the game are? I want to know who you expect realistically, and then I would also like to know who do you want to see. Even if you don't think it's happening, who would you just like to see? Let me know in the comments down below. Check out how to play Piccolo in this video right here. We go through his specials, his supers, and how to use them all. If you're in the mood for something else, there's also the video at the bottom, but as always, thank you very much for watching. My name is Globku, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.